Hello, welcome to Yoga with Rach. And Rach, thank you very much for joining me. If you joined me last week, we were going through our new moon intentions as we moved through Capricorn. So now we're in between new moon and full moon, so the moon is waxing, which means the energy is building. So hopefully we're starting to feel a little bit more energetic. So we have a little bit more of an energetic vinyasa flowing earth practice. So we're going to be moving through poses such as our tree pose, our warrior poses, and how we go with a mandala, so we're creating that circle in honour of the moon becoming fuller. We start to see that full circle of the moon. We're going to move through that mandala or circle on the mat, moving from the top to the back round to the top again. So we're actually going to start in child's pose because the energy is slowly building. So we're going to start from the ground up, honouring the fact that we're working with that earth element. So moving into child's pose. Knees can be hip width or wider, see what feels comfortable for you. Remember what we were going through last week in honour of the new moon in Capricorn, listening and checking in with your knees. So you might find that you even want to stay in Anahata, so you keep the tailbone high in case if you move into child's pose that pinches the knees. Maybe you're placing a blanket or pillows or cushions behind the back of the knees to give yourself that little bit more support as well. So find what feels comfortable for you. Forehead resting on the mat. Arms might be extended out in front of you, or for a few rounds you might even bring the hands to pause down by the feet. Bringing your awareness to your breath and allowing yourself to check in, listen to your body. The hands down by the feet, gently extending the arms out in front of you. Inhale, lifting into tabletop. Exhale, tuck under the toes, lift the knees, push the tailbone high, downward dog. Inhale, lower the knees into tabletop. You might have a little cat curl, lift the chin, lift the tailbone. Exhale, draw the tailbone to the heels, forehead resting on the mat. Inhale, lifting into tabletop. Again, we might lift the chin, we might lift the tailbone. Exhale, tuck under the toes, lift the knees, push the tailbone high, downward facing dog. Inhale, lower the knees into tabletop, lift the chin, lift the tailbone if you wish. Exhale, drawing down and back into child's pose. A few more rounds on your own, stay with your breath. Inhale, lifting into tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale into tabletop. Exhale into child's pose. Two more, unless you're pausing in child's pose. And last one. And have that pause in child's pose. Hands can stay extended, or you might bring the arms down and then the hands rest down by the ankles and feet. the hands down by the feet, sliding, extending the arms forward. And then inhale, lifting into tabletop. Exhale, tuck under the toes, lifting into downward dog. Pause here for a little bit if you wish. You might be walking through the legs. Really swaying, releasing, head side to side. Honouring how you wish to move into a standing forward fold. So you might be walking feet to the hands to the feet, stepping or hopping to the top of the mat, yogi's choice. Listen to, honour your body. And when you're ready, rolling up to standing. So if you're at the back of the mat, either turning round, so you can now make the back of your mat the top of the mat, or moving to the top of the mat. Hands are down by your hips, finding your mountain pose. Checking in with the feet. So make sure the feet are about hip width apart. Just have a little go with lifting the toes and lowering, lifting the heels and lowering. Lifting the toes and lowering, lifting the heels and lowering. See if you can gaze forward. It's very tempting to look down and actually see how you're moving the feet. But trust that the feet know what they're doing. Again, like the knees, we tend to overlook and underappreciate what the feet and the knees do, that mobility, the stability. Giving your awareness with your breath as well. And just gently rooting down through the feet. From your mountain pose, start to shift the weight to the left leg. We're going to bring the right foot up as you bend the knee, and taking the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left leg as we open the right hip, turning the right knee towards the right side of the mat. You might keep the right foot down by the ankle, the shin, you might lift it up if we've got that stability, pushing the foot into the thigh. If you've got a steady bit of wall next to you, you might be using that for that stability. Hands might stay down by the thighs, the hips, in front of the heart, or raising the arms up. Tree pose. From here, we're going to very slowly step our right foot back into warrior one. So take your time. Rooting down through that right heel. Hips are facing forward. Bending the left knee, but keeping the knee roughly over the ankle, or even soften it a little bit more if you wish. You might be able to step that right foot back a little bit more, just gently grounding through the right heel. Hips facing towards the top of the mat. Make sure you're not twisting into the back knee. Again, hands can stay with the thighs or the hips, in front of the heart, or reaching the arms up. The hands down. Leave the left leg as it is, and we're going to turn the right foot, so the toes now facing the right edge of the mat. We might again be able to wiggle the right foot back a little bit more to open the hips and open the shoulders, open the torso into warrior two. Make sure the left knee is facing forward, we're not trying to rotate the knee in. Opening the hips, hands again can stay with the hips in front of the heart, or this time expand the arms forward and back, the left arm towards the top of the mat, right arm towards the back of the mat. Turning the chin, gazing over that left middle finger. Bringing the hands to your heart centre, we're going to straighten that left leg, turning left toes in, turn the right toes out. We're going to twist to looking at the front of the mat. Lower the hands down either side of your right foot, turning onto the ball of the left foot, and step your right foot back into plank. If you do not wish to go for a vinyasa, go straight up into downward dog. Or if you wish, we can move from our plank, lower the knees or keep the knees lifted. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Inhaling, lifting the chin, lifting the chest into cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale into downward dog. We might be joining you there if you decided to skip the vinyasa, remember listening to your body. Lifting the chin, looking at the hands, we're going to step our left foot forward. Give it a nudge if you need to. And we're going to lift all the way up. So we're moving through a little bit of a high lunge. We're going to hop forward to bring that right foot up into our tree pose. So again, it might be down by the ankle, onto the inside of the shin. Might be lifting the foot up to the thigh. Whoop, finding that stability. Not just the mobility here in our practice. Hands about over the thighs, the knees in front of the heart, or extending the arms up. Lowering the arms down, take your time as we step or extend that right leg back, pushing through the heel. Draw the hips back with you, so keeping the shoulders over the hips, keeping the hips facing forward, knee nicely over the ankle, or pull the knee back if you have got any knee issues. Moving into your warrior one, Virabhadrasana. Hips facing forward, hands might stay with the hips or in front of the heart, or raising the arms up. Lower the hands, the arms down. Leave the left leg as it is as we turn the right shoulder, right hip. Readjust that right foot so toes are facing the right side of the mat. Make sure the left knee stays facing forward. And opening the arms if you wish to, or unless you're keeping them at the hips or in front of the heart as we open into our warrior two. So remember now we're moving through that mandala, the circle, so we're facing the back of the mat. Bring the hands into your heart centre, straighten the left leg, turn the left toes in, turn the right toes out, turning the torso, make sure you're not twisting into the knee. We're now facing where we started. We're going to bring the hands all the way down as we turn onto the ball of the left foot to step the right foot back into plank, either moving straight up into downward dog or moving through your vinyasa, full plank or half plank, listening to your body. Exhale to lower, inhale into cobra, exhale lower. Inhale, downward facing dog. Checking in, how do you want to move into your mountain pose? So either walking feet to the hands, hands to the feet, maybe you're stepping or hopping, and folding forward, exhale. Inhale all the way up to standing, raise your arms up, and exhale into mountain pose. So we're back to where we started. So feet are about hip width apart. Lift you up nice and tall, gazing forward, lift the toes and lower, lift the heels and lower. Placing the feet down onto the mat, shift the weight into that right leg as we start to lift the left foot up and opening the left hip as we turn the knee to the side, finding your tree pose. And honour if you're going to place the foot at different points, it doesn't have to be the same as it was the last side, so you might find that it's lower down or even higher up. Hands might stay with the thighs or the hips in front of the heart, or raising the arms up. Taking your time, bringing the hands down, we're going to extend or step very gently that left leg back. Don't worry about pushing the leg back too far, so find that stability first and then can go deeper into the pose. So we're moving into our warrior one, so we've got the knee over the ankle. We might, now that we've got the foot down on the mat, we might be able to nudge that leg back, so we're still rooting through that left heel, hips are forward, staying nice and tall through the shoulders, keeping them over the hips, so make sure you're not leaning forwards here. Rooting down through both feet, hands to stay with the hips, the heart, or again raising the arms up. Bringing the hands down towards the hips. I'm going to turn the left shoulder, left hip this time as we adjust the left foot. So the toes are facing what's now the left side of the mat. Check that your right knee's not trying to rotate in with you. So keep the right toes and the right knee facing forward. We're just opening the back part of the body now and opening the arms if you wish into for warrior two, unless you wish to keep the hands down with the hips or in front of the heart. So listen to your body. Lots of options to modify your practice to feel right for you in this moment. Straightening the right leg as we bring the hands to the heart, turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out, facing the back of the mat now. As we bring both hands down, turn onto the ball of the right foot, stepping left foot back into plank. Your choice, so we can go straight into downward dog, pausing there. Or if you wish to move through your vinyasa from your plank, lower the knees or keep the knees higher, exhale, lower. Inhale into your cobra, you might be lifting a little bit higher now, if that's your third one. Exhale, lower, inhale, downward facing dog. Now we bend the knees if you need to. Lifting the chin, looking at the hands, we're going to step that right foot forward. We're lifting up. So we might be in a bit of a high lunge, so we've got the heel lifted. You might be stepping or taking a couple of steps or hopping forward. Find that stability as we bring the left leg into our tree pose. Take your time. Remember, it's not a race. Doesn't matter how quickly you get there, whether you get there on the first time or whether you take a few goes to find that stability first. So then place the leg, open the hip, hands to hips, the heart, or above the crown. Focusing on the breath. Lower the arms towards the hips, stepping that left foot back, so we can place the foot down quite close. And then we can start to find the stance, hips are facing forward, right knee over the ankle, we're grounding down through that left heel, keeping the shoulders over the hips, just make sure you're not arching back or leaning forward. Hands to the hips, heart center, or raising the arms up. Last warrior one. Down, keeping that right leg as it is as you shift the left leg. The toes are faced alongside of the mat, releasing and turning that left hip, left shoulder, open the arms out, warrior two, last one. Straighten the right leg, turn the right toes in, turn the left toes out as we move down to the mat. Last chance of a vinyasa if you wish. Exhale to lower. Inhale, low or high cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, downward facing dog. Few breaths in downward dog. Might be walking through the legs. When you're ready, we can lower all the way down into child's pose. together, staying in child's pose or for a few more rounds. Inhale, lifting into tabletop. Exhale, tuck under the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lower into tabletop. Exhale, drawing down into child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale into child's pose. When you're ready, pausing completely in child's pose.